Hey YouTube, it's Sean, Griffin RC Planes. Happy weekend everybody. It's Friday evening, fairly late for most of you. It's my normal time. All my chores are done and I came into the workshop. Brutus gave me about an hour or so to play. And I started thinking, what kind of video can I make for you guys? And then I said, well, I'm just going to do a video on what I want to do. I got a few things I need to do. I need to replace the prop adapter on my go-to E-Flite Extra 300, and then I want to start soldering my quick connect idea for the Night Timber X. So I might mess with that a little bit, but I say we change out this prop adapter, and then when we do that, we'll bind it real quick, and we'll see if the speed control that comes in the E-Flite Extra 300. If you can calibrate the throttle range like we did with the Avian one yesterday or the day before. So let's get the 300 out and get a replacement prop adapter, and we'll swap it out. Sit tight. Oops. Almost hit my ceiling fan. Had to take a couple blades off of it so I can clear my plane. Yes, don't accidentally turn it on. We'll get a unbalanced prop for sure. All right, prop adapters. Now we need some tools. We'll get the adjustable wrench. Don't dare call it a crescent wrench. It once was called a crescent wrench. And we're going to need a nut driver and a crescent wrench and a flashlight. And I guess that's about that. Alrighty, let's get the nose cone off of it. So you might be able to see that there's two washers or whatever you want to call them, because the threads got stripped out in a particular spot with only one washer on there. And I still wanted to fly that day, so I happened to have another washer in my toolbox, not a prop adapter. So by putting another washer on it, space the nut out a little bit where it would tighten up on good threads. Like if I were to leave the one washer on there like it is supposed to have, then it wouldn't tighten up. And that's just, a lot of use. And now, of course, it's gonna tighten up. I grabbed a pair of pliers on purpose. See if that, trying to make it strip for us. Not quite big enough pair of, no. Anyways, at the field, I was really trying to crunch down on it, and the nut was spinning round and round, and when you look at the threads real close, and the nut is kind of, the nut should just spin off with a finger right now, but it's binding up, so it's done. These used to be called channel locks too, and now they're adjustable somethings. Crescent wrench and channel locks. Not anymore. Alright, we're going to need a bigger nut driver. Alright, we got tools and we got light. I think I put some pretty good Loctite on those, on the 4 bolts in here last time, so I'm going to heat up this tip of this Allen driver, get it rather hot, and then we'll insert the tool into the Allen head of the bolt and let it sit for a second in hopes of it transferring the heat from the tip of this tool through the head of the bolt and down the threads to get the Loctite that has dried, to get it gooey again, to release it. That's the plan. So we're letting it sit there for a second. I'm gonna use the crescent wrench to try to hold that. I might have to get a real Allen wrench. Yep, one more tool. Hang tight. Alright, got a regular Allen wrench in. I got some needle nose to. We're not worried about this thing. It's junk. I'm not going to heat this up. It's going to burn my finger, but now I've got more leverage, and we'll just see how it feels. Makes a big difference when you got leverage. That did the trick. Well, Sean, what size Allen wrench is that? Takes the prop adapter off on a E-Flite Extra 300. Well, let's find out, guys. Let's find out. Make sure we're on millimeters there. So on the millimeters, we're 2.40. One way to find out. Let me get one of these out, and I went and got another Allen wrench set. One of these guys that has all the sizes written on it. And we'll verify our theory right here. All right, so let's take our tool here. These calipers are not the not the best. They're like $10, not 100. So if it says 2.40, it could actually be a millimeter in this direction or that direction. So 2.45, 2.47. Now this set right here, you guys can't see it, but all the sizes are listed right up on here where you fold them down. The one we just took out fits on this guy, and when you look on the scale right here, it is 1.5, 2, and 2.5. So we were measuring 2.47. So that's a 2.5 millimeter Allen driver, Allen socket to take the bolts out to hold the prop adapter off on this plane. And then here is a standard size, and we can take the same bolt and try to fit it on these. Definitely too loose and definitely too tight. And when that folds down, we've got, it's gonna smudge out, 5/64 and 3/32. So it doesn't fit those, but it's in between those two sizes on the standard chart. But 2.5 millimeter is what the size is, metric, for the E-Flite Extra 300 prop adapter, 4 bolts going into the motor. So now we can whip the rest of these guys out real quick like. I actually forgot about this, and I was thinking about do the other ESCs calibrate the throttle like the avian, and then I grabbed a hold of this plane. I'm like, you know what? The last time I flew it, I double nutted it just to buy myself some time. Threads are boogered up in there. All right, let's get a replacement one. All right, put our tools up as we go. We got the prop adapter tackle box here. All kinds of flavors. This one is one for the extra 300, but it's bent and broken. I don't even know why I keep it around. And then here is one that is in good shape. See how the nut spins down it so freely? So that's the one we'll use. And then that busted one we'll put back in there just to touch it each time. And then the one we just took off, I might hang on it too. You never know. So here's the nut that was on it when it was in the tackle box, spinning off rather freely. Here's the nut we just took off of the bad one. So that's how they're supposed to worky. Then I'm just checking my motor. We call it the mating surface, where the prop adapter goes on. Make sure it's clean, doesn't have any trash on or any burrs, anything that's going to keep it from seating all the way. Now I'm also looking in here pretty good, just to see if I notice anything out of the ordinary. Forgot we could take the cowl off, and it makes looking at things so much easier. Since we're here, let's check the screws back that are holding the motor plate, the cross, or whatever you want to call it, the X-mount cross. There's all kinds of names for it. Just making sure these guys are tight since we're here, you know. Yep, they are tight. I got some Loctite. Like so. I'll just touch a little dab into it. Get them started finger tight. Just a couple threads. Another dab of the blue Loctite. Another bolt. Another dab. Not much Loctite at all. I'll show you guys one last time here. So we got our little puddle. Putting our bolt on it, and just set it in there and pulled it right back out. Now all four bolts are started. You don't want to start one, all the way tight, because it could be off just a little bit, and it'll make getting the other three started a pain. So get them all started, then work them all in. All right, now we'll just take our long Allen wrench. Now, I don't want to use the needle nose on this because I don't want to mess up this part that the crest wrench is on, because that's what holds the back plate for the spinner. Then we'll check the first one we did just to make sure. We're golden. Then that guy goes on. Then the back plate, it's got the hex just like it does there. Like so. Then the prop stuff, but I'm not going to put the prop on because we're going to see if this ESC programs like the other ones. Like that. All right, let's get set up. Okay, in a previous video, we were calibrating the transmitter to the speed control, so the speed control knows where full throttle is and where no throttle is. And we were doing that with the Avian Spectrum Smart speed control. A lot of people asked, can you calibrate that with other speed controls? Well, we're going to find out with the stock ESC that comes in the extra E-Flite, the E-Flite Extra 300 3D. And then I just quickly looked through some papers I had. A Skylord ESC Tomcat in the instructions here. You got to translate all this Japanese. And then anyways, you get to the English back here. And yes, this one calibrates too. It says right here, different transmitters have different throttle ranges. When you use the ESC for the first time or change to a new transmitter, please calibrate. So yes, this Skylord calibrates. This is instructions or the manual for the E-Flite 40 amp and 20 amp just stock ESCs that come in the Optera and something else. I just looked up real quick a long time ago. And right here, the main in black and white letters, begin to use your new ESC. Important because different transmitters have different throttle ranges. Please calibrate the throttle range before flying. How to set the throttle range and how to use the throttle stick programmer brake function. Move the throttle stick to the highest position, then connect the battery pack. You will hear one low, long tone to indicate startup, then the respective number of medium length midtones to indicate the cell count. After 2 seconds, the motor sounds 2 long beeps, beep, beep, which means the highest position of the throttle range is already recognized by the ESC. After the beeps, if the throttle stick is moved to the lowest position within 2 seconds, the ESC will recognize the lowest position. So, yes, they all calibrate the same. They're just in a little different formula, a little different recipe. So, the E-Flite Extra 300, the stock 60 amp speed control that it comes with. Let's see if this one calibrates like some of the other ones. Look at Simba down there. He's got his back towards me. He's mad. He wanted to be loved on, and I shoot him away. All right. Like that. Transmitter on. Oop, we need to make sure, we need to change it to the extra. It was on the test plane. So hold the scroll wheel down. Hold the scroll wheel down. And then power on the transmitter. Oop, model select. Extra. Main. Full throttle. Let me check my monitor to make sure there's no throttle cut. Yep. Full throttle. Already got a battery in here for us. Let's plug her up. And Not hearing anything. Let's pull it down. And then it armed. Let's try it one more time here. So we'll turn the transmitter off. Let's put it on high and then turn it on. All right. Power and plane. Double dances, save select. And I'm not hearing any beeps, guys. Bring it down. Then it's armed. Let's give it a little throttle here. One of the things I was reading in the instruction manual of the E-Flite 20, the 20 amp, 40 amp manual, just somewhere in here, it was saying that, no, it was for some programmable switching mode ESCs, which are a whole nother ballgame we won't really talk about right now. But it was talking about calibrating the transmitter, and it was saying that some ESCs recognize a different, throttle input as far as the milliseconds go. The 22 milliseconds, 11 milliseconds that we see on our transmitters is actually like a 1.2 to 1.8, and then like the next bracket above. So let's change our transmitter from 22 to 11 and see if we can see a difference in how the motor's turning. Let's unplug it. Let's make sure where we're set right now. So I'm holding down the scroll wheel, powering on the transmitter. I'm going to go down to, what's it called here? Frame rate. It's on 22 milliseconds right now. So up, throttle down, plug it up here. Then we'll just watch the nose cone compared to the stick, and just see if we can see anything. So creeping it up. So it seems to be, perfect. Like I barely touched the stick and it starts moving. So let's change it to the 11 milliseconds and see if there's any difference right there. So the scroll wheel down, power on. Now we'll go down till we get to frame rate. And it's on the 22. Let's click it. 11 milliseconds. When 11 ms is selected, digital servos must be used. Mode DSMX. List. Main screen. All right. So scroll wheel down, power on. Down to frame rate. 11 milliseconds. All right. Throttle down. Now we're on the 11. Powering on the airplane. Do a little dance. Have a little safe select. I'm almost thinking there's a little difference right there. All right, let's see when I floor it real quick. Does it? It's not. It almost seems to be worse in this case. I can go all the way full blast and back, and the motor's really not doing anything. Let's do that same thing in the 22 milliseconds again. So power off, scroll wheel down, power on, down here to frame rate, 22. All right, power back on. Well, that thing's loud this time. All right. Now I'm going to do the full blast real quick and back down. Not much of a difference, but it was fun to check out. It was fun to play with. It's called fiddling, and I just broke my own rule. Powering off the transmitter before you unplug it. Thank goodness there wasn't a prop. Alright, Brutus wants a game of pig real quick. On your piggy! Okay guys, hey, that's all Bob and I have for this one. So I hope they entertained a little of you, some of you. Blah, 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 blah. Hope that entertains some of you. And if not, may have helped you guys out a little bit. So hey, subscribe if you haven't, and click the notification bell and the thumbs up, and leave a comment, and I'll think of 30 other things you can do. And that's the best way to support what I do. You know, we're not selling anything. We're not doing anything. We're just asking what's for free. So subscribe and click the notification bell. This guy right here. Give me a thumbs up. Leave a comment, and check to see if you're still subscribed, because I looked back on my YouTube analytics, and like 174 people have unsubscribed since day one. It's kind of odd. So, all right, guys. Hey, thank you. Until next time, Bob and I will see you here, right there. If you want to win a jet like this, all you have to do is subscribe. Click the like button and leave a comment. And then ring the bell so you don't miss my next video. At 1,000 subscribers, we gave this jet away. At 5,000, we're going to give another one. I don't know what it is yet. We'll see when that time comes. So hey, subscribe guys. Happy flying.